Hey guys, Cfish0031 here. Today I want to talk about Mass Effect Andromeda. So I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda ever since it came out on March 21st, and I am very pleased with the game so far. I didn't have the highest expectations coming into it, as it's been over 5 years since the last Mass Effect game came out, and there's been many changes in BioWare's staff. I also recently played all 3 Mass Effects right before playing Andromeda, so to play something that was so well built up and in my opinion one of the greatest trilogies in gaming history made me want to keep my expectations reasonably low so that I would enjoy this game and try not to compare it to the previous trilogy as best I could. I believe it should be looked at separately from the trilogy because of the changes that were made in the BioWare staff and the fact that the story is so much different than the first 3. I think people want to immediately compare it to those games, and I don't think that's fair to Andromeda. It's still a Mass Effect game, yes, but it should have different standards since it's being done by a completely different team. Now I want to talk about the major negative reaction to animation glitches and story complaints. When I first heard about this, I wanted to look into it to see what the big fuss was, and if the game really was broken, like they were saying. After not seeing enough concrete evidence to pass on the game for the bugs, I got it day one, and let me tell you, I do not regret it at all. I read complaints about how the story was starting out too slow. I didn't see that at all. I actually thought the story starts out with the right pace, and it kept my interest by showing new characters, new vehicles, and different species that we haven't seen before in the Mass Effect universe. I read about how horrible the animations are with people's faces when they talk. Let me be the first to tell you that the animations on a lot of the faces do not look great. But I really don't understand why it's such a big deal now, when Fallout 4 and Witcher 3 were so highly praised, and I remember getting both games on day one, and seeing horrible glitches from people talking and items just randomly flying through the air in both of the games. Not to mention I played Mass Effect 3 well after its release, and saw horrible glitches in that game too, and I don't remember those being talked about. Did everyone overreact to this? In my opinion, absolutely. The animation bug is noticeable, but it has in no way impacted the game for me at all. I am adjusting more to the new characters and this new system than focusing on people's faces. The biggest issue I have saw in the faces in my game is that people's eyes tend to roll around quite a bit, which at times makes me laugh, because I don't take the game so serious that I get angry about stuff like that, like some people did. So should the game have this bug after being in development for so long? Absolutely not. I am not excusing this bug in no way. It is noticeable and it needs to be fixed. But is the game broken? Absolutely not. I watched so many videos and read so many reviews saying that this, and I'm starting to believe that people were looking for something to be angry about and bash, so they picked on Andromeda. I can mention 20 other games that had horrible glitches and errors that I never heard about like this game. I think that was the main thing for me. The magnitude of negativity was just unbelievable for what is actually wrong with the game. I think some people are still salty about Mass Effect 3's ending, and it's carrying over and fueling the negativity to a greater scale than what it should be. For my personal opinion, if you passed on this game because you heard that it has some animation bugs and the story starts out slow, then you really aren't a huge Mass Effect fan, and that's totally okay. I mean that with all sincerity, because I played the Mass Effect trilogy at the end of its life, so I was kind of a later fan to this series, and I became hooked by it immediately. I could not wait for the next one to come out, and it would have taken so much more for me to pass on this game on launch. The glitches and errors in this game are not even close to being something that would stop a true Mass Effect fan from purchasing it. You cannot convince me that someone's eyes rolling around or the blank expression on one's face is enough not to buy the game. It's been 5 years since we last saw a Mass Effect game, and for one to say, I think I'll wait because that person's face looks a little bit stiff. If that is what you are focusing on, and if that's what you are angry about, then A, you take video games too seriously, and B, you are looking at Mass Effect in the wrong perspective. This game does a fantastic job of exploration through different planets. The characters are very interesting so far, stiff-faced or not. I absolutely love Cora. The ship is really cool, and from what I've put into the game so far, it has been a very enjoyable experience, and that is all I hope for in picking this game up. Plus, I have Amazon Prime, and I paid $48 for the game, so suck on that, GameStop. Now, if you decided not to pick it up for other reasons, or you are leery about the glitches, and you aren't super into the Mass Effect series, I totally get that. But to me, if you are a true fan of the Mass Effect games, a die-hard fan, one that's stuck around since Mass Effect 1, or like me, even picked it up after Mass Effect 3 came out, you probably took the chance, with air quotes, and bought this game. What do you guys think? Were the glitches worse than you thought they would be? Is it too distracting for you? Is the game enjoyable to you? Let me know what you think and about the game and all the hoopla that is surrounding it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys.